Hi, I'm Melanie Poole from Daystar First National Real Estate. And as the weather starts to warm up, a really common question I get from both landlords and tenants is who is responsible for a pest control? So there's a few factors at play here. Number one, was the pest or vermin issue a problem at the start of the tenancy? Number two, is there an issue with the property that is potentially causing this? And number three, has the tenant potentially contributed to it? So the first thing is, were there pests or vermin at the property at the commencement of the tenancy? Now, if there was, that will be the landlord's responsibility. The landlord is responsible to ensure that the property is clean and fit to live in at the commencement of the tenancy. And we would argue that if there is a pest infestation, that the property is not fit for habitation. So it is imperative that a landlord ensures there is no pest issues at the start of the tenancy. And if the tenant notices any pest issues at the start of the tenancy, to call us immediately. Number two, is there something wrong with the property that might be contributing to this pest infestation? So this could be something like maybe there is a loose roof tile that's allowed access to a possum, or maybe the landlord has left a pile of rubbish on the site, say behind the garage is something we see quite common, building materials down there. And that's obviously really good housing for spiders or snakes to get in. And in those kind of scenarios, it would be the landlord's responsibility again. Third, has the tenant contributed to this the pest infestation? So when we say this, it might be that maybe the tenant is not cleaning the property appropriately, or which could of course invite ants or cockroaches in. There's also German cockroaches, which they're actually introduced to the property and they have nothing to do with tenant cleanliness. It's usually that they've been brought in like, a box from the grocery store, or even electrical goods and stuff like that. It can happen with moving boxes even. In those scenarios, that would be the tenant's responsibility. And then other than that, maybe the tenant has a pile of rubbish accumulating out in the back, and once again, housing for spiders or snakes. Now, in all of these scenarios, it is important that you organise a pest control pretty quickly, because infestations can get out of hand if they're not attended to quick enough, particularly German cockroaches. They breed like crazy and they do get into electrical items. So think the oven timers, dishwashers, and even tenants' appliances like kettles and microwaves. So any kind of pest control, it is imperative to maintain the property well, but also for the tenant's safety. We're thinking about spiders and things like that, that pest control is done fast. Now, regardless of whose responsibility it is, tenant or landlord, obviously we have plenty of trades on file who we can organise for pest control. We do have good pest control companies on our books. So for any more questions about, pest control and whose responsibility it might be, and if, there might be a grey area that you want to discuss, feel free to give me a call. My name's Melanie Poole and I'm from Daystar First National Real Estate.